Welcome to the Poundcast. My name is DJ Doug Pound. Welcome to the Poundcast. We have me and Brent. Hello, Brent.
Hi.
We have me and Brent. Today we're dipping back into your problems, your solutions, our listeners. We hear you, and we get into it.
And not
We
just,
talk about bathroom stuff. What do we talk about, Brent?
well, I'm saying we don't just solve some problems here. We also go tangential and we talk about things of our own. We reminisce about the past a little bit, and we talk about some of our own bathroom,
Yeah,
some our own bathroom fiascos and thrills.
Yep, that's true. And we even come up with an invention or two, I think, because this is
Well,
the Idea Factory. The Poundcast is
yeah,
the
that's
Idea Factory. So
right.
we have a lot of great ideas today. But before we get into that, we want to let you know that we are on Patreon, and if you sign up for our Patreon, you get to listen to an extra long episode of this episode called Poundcast After Dark. That's patreon.com/poundcast. That is how we keep making this show, is by your support. And we humbly thank you for signing up at patreon.com/poundcast. We also have a sponsor. That's right, Brent. LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. They make Louisville vegan jerky. And this is some of the best jerky I've ever had. And if you go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com,
Is that your Bob Dole impression or something?
if you go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and use the code word Poundcast, you will get 20% off. And now this is something that the American people deserve. And this is something we fought for. And the 20% off is it's our gift to you.
It's patriotic.
It's patriotic. This is something you want to do if you want to support us, and also support good flavors and a perfect snack that does happen to have a shelf life of 9 months. And it is bagged in the United States. And we went to the factory in Louisville, Kentucky.
And we
went to ground.
We can verify.
We can verify. We saw the spices in those tubs. We saw the spices. How come only old guys do that whistle speaking? You never hear a little boy go, "Hey, mister. Hey, mister."
Or you don't hear just a middle-aged guy doing that, right?
Yeah. When does the whistle come in? What's the whistle all about?
Right.
Spices.
I don't know. That is some kind of older man thing. Spices. Well, we saw them in the tubs. Spices.
Can you do the proper whistle? Spices.
No, I can't though. That's good. I can't do that.
Spices.
Spices.
LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Use the code word Poundcast for 20% off. And you know what else we started? You know what else we did in the After Dark section of this show, which we want to do more of?
Yeah.
That is the hotline, the phone calls. You can leave us a voicemail with your problem or with anything you want us to talk about, or anything you just, one of the messages was just a nice message from a boa constrictor hunter in Florida.
And this way I said this during the episode, but you might feel like you don't want to share too much when you email or do or whatever, because your name is attached to it. This way you can be kind of anonymous and leave a message. And
yeah, you can also tell us your name, but it's nice to hear it's nice to hear a voice like attached to the person. It's nice. We like to hear your voices.
And especially if you sound like an old man with a whistle talk.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, maybe you might even feel more liberated to leave a juicier problem for us to solve. I don't know. But anyway, the
juicier problem for us to dry up.
Yeah. So the number that you can call is 213-207-6952. And we will play your message on the show, and we'll
say it again, Brent.
I just clicked off of it. Oh, you're going to do it with a whistle?
No, I wasn't. Typically they repeat it. Like,
okay, I'll do it.
I guess they have an app. They can just hit rewind, but
okay,
just say it again.
It's 213 207
207
69
69
52.
52.
So
Okay, cool. Well,
and
I would like to make one quick announcement.
yeah.
I do have a Patreon too. It's a budget Patreon. I don't put a ton of stuff on there, but I have a couple editing tutorials, and I'm gonna have a new editing tutorial up this week. That's patreon.com/Doug Pound, and you can. That's a rock bottom. That's a rock bottom price on the entry level to get in on there. Also on my birthday, March 8th, and Brent, you're invited to this. I'm gonna put you on the guest list, but we're going to show the Drop Concert 2 and some other shorts, including the one that we did called Skateboarding versus Baseball at the Brain Dead Studios in Los Angeles on Fairfax. 2 screenings, 7 and 9 p.m., I believe. Tickets are going quick already, to be honest.
Oh, Fairfax, eh?
Fairfax, eh?
Is it where the silent movie theater used to be?
That's right.
Oh, great. That's easy. I can make that easy.
You can walk right there through all the crosswalks.
Right. I can live out my Ratso Risso fantasy.
Yeah, you can walk with your shopping trolley.
Yeah, you'll know what these are.
You'll know what we're talking. You know what? That's a callback to something we just talked about. But yeah, so check that out. Get your tickets. I don't know. Just look it up. They're online. I think that's it for me. You got any announcements?
Sure. I just will mention that. Well, I do this Legacy Music Hour podcast, which is a video game music podcast, and there's a Patreon I do. It's not just me. It's 4 of us. It's 4 of us that are involved with this Patreon, but I post a lot on there, video game kind of reviews and lots of other stuff too. Some show and tell videos of kind of maybe some odd things here and there. And I made some video game music tracks recently, and I don't know, it's just it might be kind of boring to a lot of people, to be honest. I get it. It's kind of boring, but I just thought I'd mention it. There is a Patreon for Legacy Music Hour. Anyway, but more importantly, I would say, is that I started this new live stream show with my sister called The Chicken Coop. And on the last episode, I said, oh, it's happening this Monday. The first episode is this Monday. I was wrong. It actually already had happened. Point being is it doesn't matter that if you did miss it from the last one, it's still archived and it's on my YouTube channel, okay, which is Brent Weinbach. But it's every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And it's a sort of chat show with segments and sometimes chicken-related stuff with my sister and me. So check it out. And
it's chicken-related. That's unusual.
Well, it's. I mean, as a joke, it's chicken-related, but yeah.
Okay.
And
I'll be tuning in.
Anyway, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. There's a YouTube channel called youtube.com/The Poundcast. You can see video of the show there if you want to. And I think that's about it.
Cool. We are on social media, The Poundcast on Instagram, and I believe Twitter too.
That's right.
All right. We have a new remix.
Got a new remix.
And this is a pretty cool remix. And another benefit of the Patreon is you get access to the stems of my theme song that I made. And our Patreon members have been making remixes, and they're pretty cool. Here's a new one. And who's it by, Brent?
This is by 3PO. So it's spelled out though. 3 THREEPEEOH. And this is called Poundcast Theme Remix 2. So by 3PO. And this kind of starts off, it kind of sounds like a 70s has this sort of 70s sound to it, I feel like, at the beginning at least.
Well, let's let them decide.
Sure.
Roll the clip.
Roll it.
All right, roll the clip.
Roll it, yeah.
Every time I see you, your little eyes are sparkling and you're smiling and you're just having the best time.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about too? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.
Okay. I got some new annoyances and problems to solve.
Oh, you want to do some problem solving?
Yeah, I like problem solving.
Yeah, I do too,
It's
actually.
kind of fun. Let's get right into it.
Let's start solving.
I'll just pick the first one. I mean, I don't have them organized in best to worst or anything.
By the way, we gotta start a hotline. We gotta start a hotline that people can call and leave anonymous messages.
Yes. Then we could,
Because
we got to
people might
play them
give
and
us-
listen. Yeah.
people might give us juicier problems also because it's anonymous and they won't, because when they send you messages, there's a name attached to it and so forth, but they leave an anonymous message. We get some juicy problems that we can try to dry up.
Dry up some juice.
Yeah, we could wipe up some. We got some juicy problems we could wipe up.
Okay. This is from Angelo. He's a friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually at the drop concert at the Smell that I did with Vic and his mom. We talked to his mom at the beginning of the show, but I digress.
Wow, mom came out too. Huh?
Well, she was on the phone. Yeah. Aha. He says, when people are not taking courtesy flushes on the toilet as they go number 2, and the toilet clogs and smells. That's all he says. I think maybe he's talking in a shared.
It must be a public restroom, I think is what he's saying. Well,
it could also be. Well, we'll solve it for either way. I mean, it could also be maybe a roommate situation is doing that,
or it could even be a thing where he lives alone and he's not flushing early.
He's talking about himself.
By the way, that's something I had to learn myself, just to try to insert my own personal experience into this. I used to flush at the end of my session, which I realized was not the way to do that. I learned that at one point. You can't flush at the end of the system because, well, especially if there's going to be a lot of wipes, that's going to definitely plug up your toilet. If you want to avoid plugging up your toilet after you go poo-poo, you might wipe a couple initial kind of wipes, and then it's a good idea to just flush the toilet right then and there, and then you have a clean slate to work with after that, for the wipes and so forth. And it probably does not smell as bad. But I will say this: certain toilets splash a lot when they flush, so it might be hard to flush while you're sitting on the toilet and so forth. Well, you got to learn how to deal with that.
That's a different problem. I'm not worried about that problem. I don't mind a little spray. When I'm down there doing my courtesy flush, I get a little fresh mist. Feels kind of nice.
Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't feel nice. I'm saying it's not necessarily sanitary, though. I mean, that's poo water.
Maybe not.
I'm sorry. Can I just diverge a little more here? You know what happened to me recently?
Yes. I mean, no, I don't. But yes, you can diverge.
Listen to this. Oh gosh, I'm actually curious about what you would have done in this situation. I played this video game called it's called Toilet Kids, and it's a poo-based game. Okay, it's for the PC Engine, which is the Japanese version of the TurboGrafx 16. It's all poo-based and stuff, right? Okay, whatever on that. I had finally beaten that game, and I was going to take a shower after I beat the game because I kind of worked up a bit of a sweat trying to beat it. And I needed a new bar of soap because the soap was depleted in my soap.
Wait, you worked up a sweat playing a shit game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was hard. That's why.
I mean, are you mousing around or?
Oh, no mouse.
Just a mental.
It's a button tapper.
So is that how you're working up the sweat, or is the sweat more of like you're anxious?
Everything. It's the intensity and all that stuff. But look, I'm exaggerating about working up a sweat. I mean, really, I just needed to take a shower anyway, or wanted to take a shower. So I went to go take a shower, and I needed new soap, and it was depleted. And so I went to open up a new packet of soap. I had a big fresh bar, and somehow I don't know what happened, but I fumbled, and the soap fell out of my hands and plopped right into the toilet, and it sank right to the bottom of the toilet. And I thought, okay. I thought, first of all, it
Wait,
splashed.
can we back up a little bit? Is your toilet in your shower?
No, that's the thing.
You're like, blah, 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 and it just goes flying across.
Well, no, I wasn't in the shower yet. The soap. Okay, I keep the extra bars of soap under the sink, the sink, and I got the bar of soap out of there. The toilet is on its way to the shower. You know, it's in between the sink and the shower. Okay, so I was sort of undoing the box or whatever, and I was pouring the soap out onto my dish or whatever, and somehow it fumbled and it fell right into it splashed toilet water all over the bathroom. Yuck.
Well, luckily you're on your way to the shower.
Yeah, but the bathroom still had toilet water all over it.
Yeah, but there was no fresh turds in the toilet, right?
No turds in the toilet, but look, poo goes in there, and so does pee. It's still kind of dirty. I mean, there's poo that goes.
All right, there's no guarantee that some residuals. I get it. Okay, so what happened?
So, well, I had to clean that stuff. There was a lot to clean up. I mean, there was splashes of toilet water everywhere, and then I eventually put on a glove, and I had to reach in and get I couldn't leave I thought, oh, well, maybe the soap can just sort of melt eventually, you know, but I thought, I don't know, that's going to take forever probably. So
did you have a glove that went deep enough to reach down to the bowl?
Well, the water level is pretty low to begin with anyway, but I didn't have to go elbow length, but I did have to reach in with my hand. I mean, I did go in with my hand with a glove, a vinyl glove, and I grabbed that soap out. Now, here's my question to you. So I was looking at this soap and I thought, what a waste of this brand new, fresh piece of soap. Now, I considered it for a brief moment. Well, what if I just sort of wash this off somehow, this soap? Because, you know, and the surface of it will melt away. It'll be good as clean. But that thought quickly went away, and I threw the whole bar of soap out. What would you have done? Would you have used that soap?
I am not as frugal as you. That soap would have just. How much could it have been? A loss of $2?
Not about. I don't care about the money. It's not about the money, and I'm not. It's about that it just was a waste of soap. I mean, it's
well. Like, look,
when you see a waste of food or something. I mean, it's not about the money. It's just more. It's just a waste of soap.
All right, I get it, but like, I think there's a chance I might have just reused it, because if it fell in with, like, some turds and logs, then it's probably gone. But a clean bowl, yeah, I do have that. There's been certain times where, well, first of all, I use liquid soap, so I don't have to deal with bars. But there's been times when maybe I'll wash my butt with a bar of soap, and I'm thinking I'll just sort of give it a rinse, and then I'll take off a micro layer of it, and then it's fresh new soap. The part that touched, I'm even thinking about the person ahead of me. If, like, years ago, if I had roommates or something, we're sharing a bar of soap, that's probably happened before.
You shared soap with roommates?
Well, if I've had moments where I, like, take a shower. I'm visiting a friend in another town, and there's a bar in the shower. I'm like, I guess I got to use this bar. I'm not going to jam it in my butt or anything, but I figured I'll give it a rinse in the hot water, get a fresh layer before no pubes on. Pubes will get on there from my chest, whatever. No pubes are going to be left. Those will be washed off fresh.
Never use another man's soap.
Well, sometimes you have no choice.
Yeah, I guess.
But maybe I should go back to bars, just because.
Bars are so much easier.
Well, I don't like throwing out plastic stuff.
Well, the reason I like bars is because you can hold it in your hand and just rub the whole thing on your body, whereas the liquid, I don't know, it just seems like you end up using a lot of liquid before you get everything on your body. You know what I mean? It just seems like you have to use a lot of the liquid to actually do a thorough job.
Well, what I do is I have a brush, and I must have had this thing I was looking at my brush the other day thinking, I've had this thing for like 20 years.
Really?
I could go fetch it for you.
Oh,
And
God.
actually today in the shower, it's on a rope. You know, there's like a little rope holding it on a hook. The rope finally gave way.
Oh, yeah.
But I could fetch that for you in a second.
Let me ask you something about this brush. You put the liquid on the brush and you brush your body?
I brush my body. Then when I'm done, I rinse it off and hang it up. And it's never gone bad or gone moldy. It's like this miracle bamboo brush that like, it's just, I don't know what fibers are involved, but it's like one of the most quality items I've ever owned. I've had this thing. I think my mom maybe gave it to me like forever ago. And I've just had it forever. It's just like a really good,
your mom used it for years too?
It's a really good item.
Imagine using your parents' brush to.
Yeah, it was a hand-me-down from my grandfather.
They've been brushing their bodies with the same brush, and you're still brushing. It's kind of like, because you're using liquid soap, so you kind of pour it on like toothpaste almost, and then you kind of, in the similar way you would brush your teeth, you brush your body.
I can get my back. It's on a stick. I can get my back.
Imagine brushing.
I'm not getting my butt crack or anything. All right.
But don't rule that out though. I mean, imagine that you're
not going to do that and like
imagine brushing your butt the way that you would brush your teeth. You know, you kind of go in and sort of
right. You have a butt brush that you use for a couple months, and then you got to get a new one.
Imagine your butt is like a mouth, and you have to brush it in the same way.
I have a bidet now, so I don't really have to worry about too much butt crust. Do you want to see my brush?
Okay, you mean
I'll be back in like 20 seconds. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. Count me down.
Oh, hey, I'll talk to the audience. So what would you guys do? Would you use the soap? Because I remember there was that was a debate I had in college was, can soap be dirty? Of course it can be dirty, but it's interesting because soap is supposed to be this clean thing, and can you wash soap off and make it clean? I don't know. I guess I could have maybe wiped it with alcohol perhaps, or I don't know. Here comes Doug with his brush.
It is a little wet, so it might look gross because I just took a shower.
Oh,
but
gosh.
this brush is just a miracle brush. Had it for.
It kind of doesn't look too different than a toothbrush in a way, too.
Yeah, it's kind of like a big body brush. This is my system.
Does it feel good? It must feel good, huh?
It feels good. It feels exfoliating. If you just put the bar is just you're just putting a slippery bar on your body. You don't do shh.
Well, have you ever used?
You don't even get dirty. I can't even imagine that you even get dirty.
I don't get that dirty, no. But do you know what are those kind of sponges? A lot of women use them, but they're
loofah.
It's not a loofah. Is it a loofah? Oh, I thought a loofah was more of had a handle. This is one of those. They're kind of squishy, kind of absorbent, but also texturally kind of rough.
It's a loofah. Sometimes they're on a handle, but a loofah is made from I think either a plant or it's a natural. But those things go bad. Those things get.
You see those in women's bathrooms a lot, hanging on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I've seen. Well, I've had those before, and they don't last like this damn thing.
But I just think, that's not. And you know what feels good? You ever had a bar of soap that had rose or just flower petals in it, or something kind of rough in the soap? It feels good to scratch your body with. That's
why I have the brush. You got to try the brush.
I'm saying I get it, and I admire it, and I think it feels good just looking at it.
All right, so back to Angelo's problem. So I thought of one thing he could do. There's several options here. Okay, so the problem is that the toilet clogs and it smells.
Yeah, well, let's take the scenario where it's a public restroom. Okay, I guess, right?
You got to take, you can't control everybody what they're going to do. You got to take matters into your own hands. You got to always have nose plugs with you. So that'll kill the smell. You put on the nose plugs before you enter. Okay, that problem solved. Clogs, you got to be your own plumber, and you got to have, some people wear like a tool belt with a hammer or, a Leatherman. You just got to have a plunger, walk around with a plunger on your belt, ready to go.
And then you bust in on the guy.
No,
That's it.
then if you're there and it's clogged, okay, you got the plunger, you're all set. If it smells, you got the earplugs, nose plugs, I mean, and you're all set.
What about this? What about build?
Back better?
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Build back better.
Build back better.
Build a, well, you know those kind of long armed things that can grab things or whatever? Maybe all you need to do is bring one of those. And if you smell something going on, you kind of just go into the stall next door to it. You take a peek over there, you use one of those long armed things, you flush the toilet. And then quickly withdraw it. And you just flush the toilet for him.
Oh, like while the guy's in there?
Yeah, give him a spray.
You can also make signs that say, please, just go to every restroom that you are going to use. Many times people will use, say it's a workplace, you make a placard that says,
please flush before wiping.
Please please do a courtesy flush.
Or
Number two, question mark, please do courtesy flush. Thank you, your coworker, Angela.
Simply, please flush before wiping.
Well, that could be like right before wiping. So that doesn't, that won't take care of the smell part.
Well, no, I think.
Or how about this? Invent a toilet, go on Shark Tank and sell it, that it automatically flushes when the water level goes up the average amount of a stinky turd. So maybe, I don't know how much that's going to be. That's going to be about 8 ounces, or something like that. 6 ounce. When it knows that it raised up 6 ounces, there's a sensor, automatic.
That's actually very doable in a way.
Yeah, that's doable.
But yeah, the only thing I'd be worried about is that spray, especially when it's flushing down a piece of poo. It's spraying poo water on you.
Well, okay, then add this to the invention. A little sheet, a cover comes across.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the cover on a pool or something, or like the cover on the back of a pickup truck. It just goes, it covers, flush, no spray, moves back. You're ready to continue your session.
Okay.
Solved.
Yeah. Anything else, I wonder? What about the home thing? If you have roommates?
You just sit them down on the toilet. Give them a tutorial.
What if you just pass a note under the door? It just says flush.
Give them a toilet. It's like toilet.
You just. Here's an idea. Take the toilet paper out of the roll, hide the toilet paper, and then when he's on the toilet, says, "Hey, is there any toilet paper?" And you say, "Oh yeah, I think I have a roll in my room." And then you kind of open the door. You hand him the toilet paper, and on the toilet paper, it's written. There's a poem that's written. The poem says, "Roses are red, and."
Oh, I got the poem. Roses are red, violets are blue.
How about
courtesy flush down your poo.
Well, I was going to say roses are red and brown is poo. Please flush it down. It's the thing to do.
Well, I mean, violets are blue rhymes with poo, so you're missing an opportunity there.
No, but you're also missing an opportunity to describe the color of poo in this poem that has colors.
Okay, I think my version's better, but we can agree to disagree.
But imagine toilet paper that was personalized and there was messages. Maybe it just says, "It stinks. It stinks. Now please flush it down. Would you please?"
Roses are red. Farts smell bad. Won't you get courtesy flush, my fellow roommate lad?
Do you agree with the statement, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's mellow, it's yellow? Or if it's mellow, it's yellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
No, if it's yellow, let it mellow. I do, and I've practiced that many times, as a water saving measure.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you do let it mellow for a while, you'll get a stain that'll be difficult
Yes, you will.
to clean.
And you'll get a
So
smell too. You will get a smell.
that's a possibility.
Look, in college, I thought that was the way to do it, is to let it mellow. But I was wrong. And I learned that pee will eventually, especially if you pee a couple times in there, it's going to start smelling and it almost starts to coagulate or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you let it melt, you can't just let it mellow multiple peas. I think maybe one pea you can let it mellow, but that's up to, I understand we got to start saving water. We're in a drought. We don't want to be flushing. So I really don't know what to do. I mean, he could hide some of his roommates' food so then they don't have as much food in their system, which will turn into poo. Then they won't poo as much.
Oh, you could do that. Yeah. You starve them.
Starve them out.
Starve them out.
Okay, that one, I'm going to say that one's solved. Let's see here. I guess maybe there could be another way to do it.
Oh, yeah, please.
You could make them feel bad, if it's like a public restroom and they don't, say you're around the water cooler and that person did it. You could just say something to them like, whoa, man, somebody really clogged up the toilet.
Somebody dropped the bomb there.
Somebody dropped a bomb in there and it clogged. And guess what? They didn't even do a courtesy flush. Who does that? Then they'll start thinking, oh, you don't want to call them out. You just want to kind of say like, that's not a good look.
You know how workplaces have sensitivity training now? Sensitivity training, and then they have sexual harassment kind of training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They could just add another thing that's etiquette, toilet etiquette training.
Yeah, talk to HR. Actually, when I worked with Tim and Eric at the first office, before even they were called Absolutely, it was like Tom Goes to the Mayor.
It was called Tom Goes to the Mayor Productions.
I don't even know if they had a production.
They didn't even have a production company.
They might not. Yeah, I don't. It was before it was at whatever. It was at that first building. It was on Highland and Fountain. Anyway, there was a shared toilet that was like in the hallway. So like even other businesses, we all kind of shared it. It was like at the end of the hallway. It was a small office building situation.
Yeah.
And it had one of those, it had in the stall, it had that gap where you can like totally see. And you could see clearly who's in there if you could see their shoes. So I made this thing called the anonymizer. I took it upon myself to make this. I took like card stock, like 18 by 36 or whatever, like the big sheet you would make a garage sale sign out of or something.
Yeah.
And I cut it and I taped it along the edge. So I closed the, when it opened, it made you have a little privacy spot.
So it was like
even on the bottom where the feet were, I cut off some cardstock and I anonymized the feet too. And I even wrote on there, I wrote a little logo and I said the anonymizer, and I made my own invention and I installed it.
That's you were solving problems even back in 2004 or whatever.
I've been solving problems forever.
Great.
You got to take it upon yourself to solve these problems. You got to do the work.
It was kind of like a door flap in a way. Yeah.
It was just a door flap. Yeah.
That's great, man. I love that idea.
Yeah. The anonymizer.
That's great. This brings to mind something that I talked about with my sister before in the past a lot. Is it's interesting when people say, okay, if you're in a bathroom, right, and somebody knocks, what do you say usually? Or or you're you're in a bathroom. It's a single use bathroom, or you're even in a stall, but you can't see in there or something like that. What do you say when someone knocks?
Help! No, I usually say be right out, which means I'll be out. I'll try my best to hurry up.
Okay, well,
I just say I think I just say like, oh, be right out, something like that.
you don't say
I don't say occupied. No.
you don't say that. This is what I probably would. You don't say somebody's in here.
Someone's in here.
Somebody's in here.
I might have done that before. It's
It's
so
funny.
weird. Someone's in here.
It's funny because well,
It's
then
the third person, right?
yeah, it's a third person. That's what's funny about it. But then yet, if you were to walk in on somebody, then you would say, "Oh, I'm in here." If they can't see you, then you're a third person. But if they see you, it's first person. That's what's kind of funny, I think. And by the way, used to be, I probably mentioned this before, in Berkeley, California, there's this pizza place called Laval's. I think it was on Durant, maybe. But there was this bathroom there that did not have doors. There was a toilet that did not have a door on the stall or anything. So if you went in there, you were either going to see somebody on the toilet, or you yourself was going to be seen if somebody walked in on you. And I guess in a situation like that, you would say, "Oh, I'm in here."
Well,
It'd be funny.
I've been in situations like that where I have to go, and it's at a shitty dive bar or something. And I would recruit a friend. I would say, "Look, here's the deal. I gotta go.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I gotta go. Just guard the door. You're the next person in line."
Right, I've done
And
that.
if someone comes up and then you just say, "Oh, someone's in there."
Yeah, then they say it in the third person, and it makes sense.
I've done it. I've done that before.
I've done it too. I've done
On a
that.
couple rare occasions, you get a friend to watch.
A guard. You get a guard.
Have you ever been?
Watch guard.
You've been to Seattle to like
Classic. The Pike's Place.
like
Pike's
the
Place,
worst bathroom ever?
that is infamous. That's an infamous bathroom.
I know.
I've been checking that bathroom out since 2006 or something. I think it was.
Dude, I've been checking out that bathroom for a while.
Well, it's hilarious. That bathroom's hilarious. I've taken pictures in it and stuff before. It's hilarious.
Well,
And
I know why it's like that.
it's for drug users. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for people who don't know, haven't been to Pike's Place, there's this bathroom and the stall doors are really low.
It's like this. It's like up to your chest.
Yeah.
And you're looking down on it too. So it's almost like
If you're sitting
almost like down to the middle of your
if you're sitting on a toilet, it is as far from anonymous as possible. They could see your face, completely see your face and your chest. And it's just not the place to go poo if you're ever going to go poo there.
It's not the place to do heroin either.
Right. Well, that's why they.
Well, I mean, maybe you could just be like doing it on the down low, like I'm just taking a crap over here. No one's gonna question you.
Yeah, you could just have your back turned to it and saying, "Oh, I'm going pee pee."
Right.
You're just doing a heroin dose, But if you haven't been to Seattle, it's one of the tourist attractions at this point.
Yeah, you really got to check it out.
In fact, I think Doug, you and I were in Seattle together at one point. Didn't we check that bathroom out just for the?
I think we did.
Yeah, because remember we went to the a crumpet place, I think, there together, and then
I still love that crumpet place.
Yeah, and so you can kind of walk from Pike's Place to there, whatever.
We did a video there, I think on Instagram. It might have been one of my first Instagram videos.
Yeah, that trip, I believe.
Was that Will Smith?
I think.
Remember that video?
Yeah, Will Smith. Yeah, that's right. What's crazy is, I think it was right when you started your Instagram account was when we. The first pictures were from Seattle when we went.
Because my main profile picture on Instagram, which I've never changed, is me standing in front of this mural of like a sunset in Seattle. And I have this thing, not the same one, but I usually wear a neck gaiter like when it's cold, but I just put it over my face. So it's just a photo of me standing there like this.
Oh yeah.
And that's That was from that trip, and I think you took that photo, Brent, and that's still my profile picture on
Crazy.
Instagram.
Yeah, that is crazy. And
isn't that crazy?
yeah, if you got to go, and man, it's hard to. Have you ever tried to go back on the history of something? On an Instagram profile, it's hard to. I mean, there's a lot of pictures to go through, but if you make the trip all the way to the beginning of Doug's thing, you can see some pictures of us both in Seattle having a little bit of a ball. And we went to that game store. Remember that game store we went to?
Yeah.
I think there's a picture from there in there as well.
That's what I was just posting pictures like the original way you do it. Now it's like some video I've spent a week editing.
You know what's crazy?
I used to just take a picture and put it on Instagram.
You know when that was, by the way?
When was it?
I believe it was 2012.
That seems about right.
But think about it. That was 10 years ago.
And that's when we played the Underground, and it was kind of like not the best shows.
No, it wasn't.
We paid our dues, though,
But 2012, that was 10 years ago, man. 10 years ago. That's
yeah,
crazy.
man.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, my man. I mean,
that is crazy. And then they put us up in their shitty like comedy
this apartment that they had. Yeah,
there's like broken glass everywhere.
Yeah, well, I know I had cleaned that up before you got there, so maybe there was still some broken glass that I missed. But yeah, I got there and there was broken glass on the floor. I'm not going to say, but I know, I don't know if it was him too, but I know who was in the apartment before me. But maybe somebody was in between us in the day that we were in between. But there was also pretzels on the floor in the bedroom and pretzels kind of in the bed and stuff. And it was just dirty. Nobody had cleaned it before the last person who had been there. The floor was sticky, had a sticky substance on it. It was probably some kind of beer or something like that. Ugh, gosh. I just thought, I'm not doing this one again.
Those were the days.
But.
All right, we only did one problem so far.
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't matter,
That's all right. Save more for later. More for me. Okay. Macklin says, people who loudly snore in the hostel dorm all night. I know it's kind of unfair because they can't control it, but I want to hear how the Poundcast can help out a pimple in need.
Well, okay. If I'm not joking, the obvious, I've had to deal with people, loud snorers, for lots of minutes. I've had roommates. Earplugs was what I would use, and you can still hear it a little bit even over the earplugs, but it helps a little bit. It makes it manageable. It makes it so you can try to sleep to it a little more. But earplugs, just get those 33 decibel ones or whatever. Heroes, I think they call it Heroes. You put those in, and you put them in deep too. Open your ear when you're putting them in. You got to open your ear up, pull on the lobe, and then pull on your ear so that it opens the hole, and you stick that thing in there, and then let it expand. You squish it up, let it expand.
All right. Well, I have a real solution here.
Yeah. Okay.
Real Poundcast style solution.
Yeah.
You go to the Halloween store and you find yourself a scary mask that you can travel with. It's a little thing a little rubber mask. And you have that with you at all times. And when that person snores, you get out of your bunk bed, you climb down, you go to their bed, you put the mask on, and you tap them. They'll look at you, they'll go, ah! And they'll be, oh, sorry, I forgot that I had my sleeping mask on. You were snoring. I just wanted to let you know, it's kind of hard to sleep. And they will be so full, they'll be so terrified, full of adrenaline, and their heart will be racing that they won't be able to get to sleep for another hour. Then you or more, maybe they'll be up all night, just, freaked out. Then you get a good night's sleep. They're not going to snore after that. I'll tell you that.
Okay. I have a funny solution, and it's also a real solution that I used before. I forgot about that. I just remembered just now. I think you might like this. So when I was in college, when I was a freshman, I shared a room with two other guys. Okay. So it was three of us in one bedroom. Okay. I was in a rooming house. Okay. I lived in a rooming house, and I lived with these two guys, and they were both from Brazil.
What was this setup like? Bunk beds or what?
Not bunk beds, but there was just three beds. In
three beds?
Yeah.
in one room.
Well, there was 2 beds that were kind of parallel to each other, and then another bed that was, that was not parallel. It was in there too. It was 3 beds, 3 desks too.
Did these Brazilian guys bring any, ladies home?
No, but hear this. One of them was, it was the house I lived in was a rooming house, and a lot of international people stayed there. And some of them did this business extension course. So some of them were older people. They weren't usual college age people. And so one of the guys I lived with was 35. Okay. And, I was 18. Okay. And then the other guy I think was 25 or something like that. So he was still kind of younger. But anyway, the 35-year-old, he snored a lot. It was loud. And what I did was, this is before I started using earplugs. I started to pretend to talk in my sleep and pretend like I was having a nightmare. This is a real solution. This is a real thing I did. And I would be so loud about it, it would wake him up. And he would actually get a little freaked out about it too. And
that's good.
The other guy in the room with us, he knew what I was doing and he thought it was really funny and he was trying not to laugh and stuff because he would get woken up by the snoring too. And so, and then he started trying to do my techniques also, but he wasn't as committed as an actor. But so so the guy's snoring and I would start to go, I would be sleeping and this is what I would say. I would go, no, I don't want to. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. No, I don't want to touch it. No. I'd I don't know. I'd say some weird thing like that. I don't want to something. And I go, and the guy would wake up and then he would try to wake me up, and stop. And anyway, it woke him up and then it was funny because I think they both were in that same business extension course together or something. And the guy was telling me, oh man, I wish you could have heard this. Today at the class, Marcelo was telling everybody, he was saying, my roommate, he is crazy. He's all yelling, he's sleeping and crazy. He's saying, oh, don't touch it. He was whatever, kind of imitate what I was saying. But little did he know that was just my way of waking him up and making it so that he would stop snoring. But man, that was a solution. You just act crazy and you start, you just start talking in your sleep like you're having some sort of crazy, scary dream where you have to touch something that you don't want to touch. Another thing we did too, by the way, is I would clap really loud too. Sometimes I would just give a real loud clap, just one clap, and it would wake them up sometimes.
I know another solution is record him snoring, and then set up some kind of like audio activated playback deck. So record it on a tape or whatever. This was back in the 90s or whatever. Via tape deck. Yeah. Because there are audio. There's apps on your phone that will record you sleep talking, which I used to have one of those.
By the way, Ferris Bueller, had a control.
But if you play back snoring at them, snoring will wake them up.
Yeah. So
then, or maybe kind of like put a mic near their bed, run it through a delay pedal, and then play the snoring back to them. So then it'll be like, like wake them up. So their own snoring will wake them up. And then you could just be like, now you know what it's like to be woken up by your snoring. You know what I mean? Because when they're snoring, since it's synced up with their own breathing, it's not going to wake them up. But it's coming in as this external sound.
It's got to be unsynced.
Yeah. So a delay will make it like a 2-second delay. And then you could just be sitting there with your arms folded, like, now you know what it's like. You got to roll over or something, man. Otherwise, none of us will sleep. Let me put my tape deck away. Let me put my delay pedal away.
Here's a problem. You want a problem? What about if you're in a hotel room and this room next door to you is such a loud snorer that it's coming through the walls? I've had that happen before, by the way. It's so loud that I can hear the other person in the other room. What do you do then?
Well, I'm sure at this point you bring in those earplugs with you.
Yeah, sure. But
okay. So you don't have the earplugs on you. You order room service to their room. Say, actually, I'm in that room. I'm next door, and order and charge it to their room. Charge it to room 26. I'm in 27 right now, but
Like that. I like that. Yeah.
or call room service or call the front desk. Be like, I think there's a problem. There's like a loud sound coming from that room, and I can't sleep. Can you check it out? Then they'll come
I
knocking.
think there's an animal, and I think there's something. I think there's a chemical experiment happening in there.
I think there's an animal in there.
I think somebody brought a lion into the room 27.
Dude, remember when we were in Louisville and the fire alarm went off?
Yeah, I sure did.
That was insane.
Yeah, we were in a hotel, in a nice hotel too. It was, one of the hotels we stayed in was so bad, and then we stayed in a nice hotel the next night.
Yeah, but the nice hotel, it
Right.
must have been 4 a.m. or something. And a hotel alarm
Oh,
is like so insanely loud, and then its strobe lights are going blink, blink. I didn't know what. I mean, I figured I laid there for a while, and I'm like, okay, I guess I got to get up. I got fully dressed, and I went all the way outside. I talked to the fireman, and I'm like, you could tell it was like a false alarm or an accidental alarm or something. I just kind of point at the door. He's like, give me the thumbs up, like, go ahead back in. I'm like, damn it.
were you the only one who gotten?
I was the only one outside. I think I saw a couple other people kind of like milling about in the hallway. And I'm like, I'm just going down. I'm going to see what's going on.
You know what?
And I walked down the stairs. I did the proper protocol. I did not get in the elevator. If there's a fire, you don't get in the elevator. You take the stairs.
Well,
We were on like the 6th floor. So I'm like 4 a.m. I was at the deepest sleep too.
dude, do you remember my experience of it? This is what happened to
Yeah.
me.
This is crazy.
I was in such a deep sleep too that when it happened, it woke me up, and I was in such a sort of stupor or whatever. I was in sort of a half sleep kind of mode that I thought it was the alarm to the clock rate, the alarm clock that was near the bed, and I thought, oh shoot, somebody must have set this from the night before, before me, that had stayed in the room before me or something. And I swear I was, for at least 2 minutes, I was trying to mess with the clock radio, and I was trying to turn off the alarm.
I like how you're doing it, and the ceiling is flashing.
Well, no,
strobes are coming.
There wasn't any flashing going on in the room.
Oh, in my room, it was like a strobe light.
Oh, really? No,
the fire alarm was like strobing on the
I
ceiling.
wasn't getting any strobe, but I did eventually. Eventually I did go out of my room and I saw that it was flashing in the hallway, but I didn't realize in the state I was in that the sound was coming from the ceiling. I thought it was coming from this alarm clock next to my the bed. So I was pressing all these buttons, and I kept on pressing it, and it wasn't working. And I just thought, what the hell is going on? This thing won't turn off. And then I was trying to change the alarm settings, and then finally I was trying to unplug the alarm clock, and I finally unplugged it. I couldn't find the cord for a while, and I was thinking, where does this cord lead to? I finally unplug it, and I thought, oh my God, I still didn't think it was the alarm clock. I thought, oh, there must be batteries in this too. And then it wasn't turning off. I was like, how do I get the batteries out of this?
That's hilarious.
And
then you flushed it down the toilet, and it still kept going.
Right, exactly. But I just couldn't figure it out. And finally, I realized, wait a second. What? Oh, that's coming. That's the fire alarm.
Dude, if there was a real fire, you'd be doomed.
Right. Well, I think if there was a real fire, I would have smelled or something, smoke or whatever. But I went into the hallway, and I saw that things were flashing and the alarm was going off in the hallway. And I thought, okay, what do I do? Am I going to really go downstairs right now? I know this is so kind of irresponsible.
What am I going to do? Okay, I guess I got to do something.
I considered it. I said, okay, I guess I wasn't going to put my clothes on exactly. I was just going to wear my pajamas. Although it was cold though too, so I don't know. I don't know what I was going to do, but it shut down not too long after. I don't know. Somehow it shut down, and I ended up thinking, all right, I guess I'm not going down. I never went down. I never really left I went into the hallway for a little bit. I never left my room.
Yeah, if that happens again, maybe I'll try calling the front desk first. I don't know.
It was
I'm glad I I'm glad I did what I did, because now I'm ready for next one, the real one. I'm gonna be ready. Anyway,
that was so funny though with the alarm that I just was. How do I shut this thing off? It won't shut off.
Okay, that's solved.
Wait, what was? Oh, it was the snoring.
Yeah, I mean, we solved that.
Yeah.
This is from Gemma. She says,
I think it's. I think they.
or is it Gemma?
I think they said.
I'm terrible with numbers, and I'm in a mandatory stats class. I'm barely making it through. I'm so stressed. Math makes me cry. Help me pass this class. Please help me out. My guys, I've got 3 more exams to pass.
Okay, sorry. They're in a statistics class, okay? And it's math. And math is not a good subject, right?
It's a mandatory class. So here's what you do. You cheat. This is nothing you care about, nothing you ever are going to apply to your life.
No.
This is, in this case, just cheat.
No. First of all,
Just cheat.
let me try to solve this problem for you by just trying to express the joy of numbers. Okay?
Right.
What is
Learn
it
to
about-
love it. Learn to love the
It's
numbers.
not even about learning to love it. I don't think you need to learn to love it. It is a sense that, but I think once you see the beauty of and the logic of numbers, you might start to really like math. So math, it involves a lot of logic, and it involves formulas, and it's all about plugging things in. And if it's statistics, I mean, that's fun. I mean, come on, don't you want to know statistics? It's kind of fun. You want to know what you want to know, kind of little trivia facts, how many times your heart beats in a second or whatever, and stuff like that. I don't know, statistics can be fun. Just, yeah, I guess you're right, just learn to love it, I guess. It's fun to crunch numbers. Think about it. It's fun making calculations and arriving at an answer. That's fun, isn't it? Numbers are kind of fun, aren't they? Numbers are weird too, because numbers, counting is so weird. It's weird that it's infinite, don't you think? That you can count numbers forever. That's weird.
Okay, well, that's not going to help them.
Well, no, I think it's going to help by thinking about how philosophical math is also. Once you start thinking about the philosophy behind math, I think you can get into that.
You can also go to your professor or teacher and say, express to them you're feeling stressed about this class. I find when something's stressing you out, it's good to talk to someone. Talk to your professor. And I know this isn't a funny, nothing funny is coming from this statistic class problem.
I have a funny,
but I think that's a real problem. Real solution. You just go to your professor, tell them it's stressing you out, and they'll be like, all right, look, I'll cut you a deal. If you just get this good, if you just, try this, or maybe they'll give you some pointers like 1-to-1, try this, read this little article, read this chapter. I don't know.
Okay, let me give you a funny answer. Okay, let me give you a funny answer real quick. Maybe it might be more fun if you went up to the instructor or the professor and you said, hey, do you think for the next class you can just sort of wear a jock strap on the outside of your pants? That might spice things up a little bit for me. Might make me pay attention a little more, make me have more fun with it. And you never know. He might say, hey, you know what? I will wear that jock strap if it helps you learn better. Okay. And because, teachers, they want to teach. The other thing is,
and if the teacher, real quick though, if you say, hey, can you teach me better? Because I'm not really learning. Is there anything you can do to teach me better, so I'll have fun with this class? I'm not having fun. I'm stressed out. I got 3 more exams. It's a mandatory class. I'm not good with numbers. Maybe they'll say, maybe they will, but if they don't, you go up to the headmaster, you complain, and they'll say, look, you can just take the rest of this semester off. You get a pass.
How about this?
Can I do extracurricular? Can I go? Can I do some fun numbers stuff? Right, what do you
I'll
got?
do your taxes.
Right.
How about I do your taxes? Can
I wash your car?
Can I get credit? Can I get credit for doing your taxes? Math credit? But here's the thing. This is not a funny answer, but it's going off of what Doug said. Well, I'm just going to reiterate what he said, is that you definitely go to office hours with Tim Heidecker. And no, I'm just kidding. Go to the office hours of the teacher and explain to them, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm having trouble with this class. Is there a way we can make this fun for me? Can you figure out a way how this is fun for me? And, say it in a way that's not offensive, that he's not being fun or she's not being fun, but ask how you can have a better understanding of the work in that class, and an understanding that makes it so that you're interested in what you're doing. Because there's probably some real world applications to what you're learning. Maybe that could be fun to know about. Get you ready for the real world.
Yeah.
On MTV, that is. Get you ready to be living with 7 strangers, one of them being a Brazilian man in his 30s.
Maybe surround yourself with stats. Start seeing the world as numbers. Start counting every step you take, and then numbers will just be running through your mind the whole time, that it'll be like, by the time the exam comes, it'd be like, boom.
Right. Just become OCD and start, counting seconds when you wash your hands.
Yeah.
Count how many times you turn the knob on a doorknob before you actually open the door. You just got to become OCD, go full blown OCD on this, and you'll start to really appreciate numbers.
Go to the library, check out Rain Man, and see how he does it.
Here's your homework. Go to the library, check out Rain Man on VHS. That's what it sounded. It's funny that if you can't just watch it on the internet,
it's got to be on VHS.
You got to go to the library and check it out on
VHS.
Yeah. Check out Rain Man, then your next assignment is go on eBay, buy the DVD of Clockers or whatever.
Okay, well, that's solved.
Hey, you know what? Go to Vegas and start doing count. Actually, okay, here's the incentive.
Yeah, Vegas trip, that's fun.
How about this? Here's the incentive. If you do well in this class, it might make you better able to count cards in Vegas. So, you do well in this class, you go to Vegas, you make it big. You can make lots of big bucks. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I mean,
clean those casinos out.
That person messaged me on Instagram, so they can go to their own. I think on Instagram, you can go into your statistics or your settings, start looking at your own statistics of your own life, and then maybe that'll be interesting. Think about it. All right, let's move on. We got a fellow Doug over here, Douglas. He says he doesn't like when people don't. He hates it when people don't put their shopping trolley back where it belongs and instead dump it in the car park. So he's probably British or maybe Canadian, but
yeah,
shopping trolley. That's British.
When
people don't put.
I hear you.
They don't put the shopping trolley back where it belongs and instead dump it in the car park.
Well, they dumped it. He just dumped it in the car park.
When people don't put their shopping trolley back where it belongs and instead dump it in the car park.
What is that?
When I do car, it sounds like I'm doing Boston. I'm mixing my accents up here.
Car park.
The car park.
The car park.
Dump it in the car park.
So when people, they don't... they take the shopping trolley and they dump it. They absolutely dump it in the car park. What's she supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go with it? I'm not picking up your car trolley, your shopping trolley for you, mate.
It's mad.
Mate. Just, stop being a cunt and just stop being a right cunt and just take it back to the thing, mate. So, well, hey, I totally hear you on this because I hear you. I mean, it blocks cars. It makes it hard to park into the spot if there's a
Dude, I walk it back. I walk it back to that little trolley wrangle. What's it called? Like, you know, the little
dispensary.
the cage that it goes back into. I walk it back, bro.
But you walk back your own cart, not the
Yeah, I'm a courteous citizen.
Right. Do you do your you don't but what about someone else's? What do you do that one?
Right, I know. This is tough because, well, have you ever seen the cart narc? He was this YouTuber that was popular for a little bit. He goes into parking lots and films people when they don't put their trolley back, and he's like, "I'm the cart narc," and then he'll put like a bumper sticker on their car that says like, I forgot what it says, something about shaming them. You know, he drives them crazy, and he gets almost into a fight. These people like get so pissed off at him. So I don't recommend doing what he does because he's doing it to like troll people. He trolls the trolleys, and
He's a troll.
he just makes people mad, and he does these viral videos. So you could start up a YouTube page. You know, you could go Cartnark UK and just drive people nuts, and then they'll be scared that the Cartnark will start, the trolley narc will start whatever, yelling at them. But okay, so what can you do?
Well, if you
People don't put their cart
you
back.
could say this. You could just do this. Oh, excuse me. You know, you get in front of the car. You say, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." Stop the car. This is if they're still there when this happens, and they say, "Yeah, what's wrong?" You say, "Oh, you forgot something," and they say, "Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Oh, what is it? Oh, that right there." You point to the shopping cart.
Your trolley. No, here's what you do. You fill up, you have a nice garbage bag, trash bag, filled with rotting, stinky crap. And when you see someone do that, you follow them home. And then you dump it in their yard. And then when they start to confront you, "What are you doing? Why are you dumping this in my garden?"
That sounded Boston right there.
Right.
In my garden.
"Why are you putting this in my garden? My garden?" You can say, "Well, you left the trolley in the car park. Why can't I leave my trash in your garden? I'm just playing by your rules." And then you walk away, and then their mind will be blown. They'll be like, "What I did was wrong. I'll never do that." And one by one, you got to dump trash into each of their lawns until they learn one by one.
How about this? This is a pretty simple solution. If you're just trying to go kind of revenge style, how much does it cost to buy a trolley, a cart, whatever?
I'm going to look that up while you're doing this because I like where you're going.
You just spend the money on the chart, okay, whatever. Anyway, point being is, you want to really show them what it's like. You get a trolley or a cart and you bring it to their house and put it in their parking lot. You follow the person home, and you see where they live. You put a cart right up in their area. See what they think.
This is interesting, Brent. I'm looking up shopping carts here because they sell them, you know. Shop wholesale business.amazon.com has them. But there's places like places that sell it to businesses like this. So your classic shopping trolley that's all metal, you know, with the black wheels, the orange handle.
Yeah.
How much do you think that costs?
$100?
$129.99.
Yeah,
Now the plastic ones that are a little nicer, maybe you'll see those at Target.
Yeah, totally.
How much do you think those are?
The plastic ones. $200?
$258.
That's pretty crazy.
You know that double decker one? Have you seen the double deckers?
No.
I've seen those before. They're kind of shorter, but they have a top and a bottom. Now that's coming in at $428.36 at Granger Industrial Supply.
Jeez whiz.
I know, gee whiz, right?
Well, that's interesting that
these are so like you can get one for $129, your classic, and then there's a deep there's a deep dish one that's $179. You know, those like super deep. So the prices are all over the place. So some of them are $229.
It's interesting that they're that much money because that's a lot of money. Think about how much money you're seeing when they're all in their cage together or whatever. Or a Target, when you see all of those rows of those carts, that's thousands of dollars right there.
Yeah, I mean,
$1,000.
most of them are, they're none of them are under $100. Well, there's one, but it's a real, it's not, it doesn't really count. Anyway, you can go to specialtystoreservices.com. They have all the carts you would ever want.
Well, how about this as an idea? I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but what if there's magnets that you install into the... I mean, you don't do this. The store does this. They install magnets or something that are in the ground of the parking lot. And then there's magnets that are on the shopping cart so that... And they're both the same... They're both the same side of the magnet so that they oppose each other. And so... magnetically, there's no way for the cart to stay in the lot. It gets pushed out of the way.
Well, do you know a lot of those carts have those, because people steal them, they'll just push it all the way home.
Yeah,
they have these carts that the wheels like lock up
that's right,
if you push them outside of the so you can maybe some kind of technology like that, like
they don't lock up.
Maybe when the cart knows it has, items in it when you push it out of the store, and when those items, when it knows that there's nothing else in there, it makes a sound. It says, "Did you put me back where I go? Or are you going to put me in the car park? Are you going to dump me in the car park like a cunt, or are you going to put me back in the corral? Are you going to put me in the corral, or are you going to be a cunt? Are you going to be a cunt?" It's just screaming at you. So then it knows when it's being pushed back to the corral, and it says, "All right, mate, you're good, mate. That's well good, mate.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate."
And as soon as you take your last item out of the cart, it says, "Put me back, cunt.
Put me back in the corral, cunt.
Put me back, cunt. Don't dump me.
Don't dump me in the fucking car park.
Please put me back.
Please put me back." Or how about this? Incentives. I know it. Make the corral. You know how you can like push the cart, and sometimes you see those people pushing it from like 10 feet away, and they try to aim it into there. Make it a game. Make it kind of like a bowling game, or like
that's fun.
Make it kind of like curling or something, where you're pushing something. So it's like you get to play this game, and if you get a bullseye, it knows, and you get like a coupon, huh? Incentives.
Well, that's pretty good. That is a great idea. And another idea is that you can, if you want to use a cart, you have to put a deposit on it, and you don't get that deposit back unless you return the cart. But maybe some people would be some high rollers might think, well, I can afford the deposit. I'm just going to leave this out here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that these stores can do.
I like the idea of
incentives.
What about making you feel sorry for the cart and humanizing the cart, sort of, or anthropomorphizing it somehow, where the cart says something kind of heartfelt and says, "Can you let me be back with my family, please? I miss my family so much. My heart's desire is to see my family again. My greatest heart's desire is to see my family again. Please bring me back to my family."
Oh, I know another idea. You hire attractive actors, actresses. And maybe when they're just kind of like roaming the parking lot, and maybe they strike up a conversation with someone, and then on the off chance that they might think that there's a meet cute happening, you know what I mean? Like, "Oh, what did you get some got some good groceries today, huh? You know, I don't know. And then when they don't put the cart back, they can say something like, "Oh, wow, so you're one of those type of people." Okay. I was going to give you my number, and I thought we were having a meet cute, but I guess it's not
And
going to happen.
right, and then
Because you're one of those type of people.
But if they
And
do,
this isn't going to work. I'm sorry, this isn't going to work.
you just say this. You say, "Oh, you're one of those kind of people."
Right.
What you mean? What you mean?
What you mean, mate?
Do you just
Well, the trolley.
You just
The
leave
trolley.
You just leave the trolleys out. Oh well, yeah. Is that all right? He's like, and then the other person becomes British also, and they say, "Because look, I don't actually talk like that, and you're a right cunt. Now get the fuck out. Now get the fuck out, mate."
I would take photos of them. How about the trolley has a camera in it? And then like it knows, it takes a photo of everybody when you're pushing it, right? And then if you put the trolley in the corral, the photo gets wiped, right? If the trolley gets left in the car park, that photo gets uploaded to a big screen at the supermarket. And it says, trolley cunts of the month. And it's just like, it just a slideshow of each person. Each person that does that is publicly shamed. Trolley cunts of the month. I bet people would want to be on that screen.
Right,
so
right.
That'll probably backfire. But
you rack up points too. The more you leave it, it's in order. You know, there's a first place there's a first place and a second place, and whoever is left the most carts out. So people will be going there to rack up points to be the number.
No, but then like they know it, your facial recognition, the trolley will know it's you. And then
the wheels lock up.
The wheels will lock or no, like when you go to pay, you'll have to pay this like trolley tax. Like, what you mean? These apples were 69 pence a pound, mate.
There was Will Smith.
It was 60 pence a pound, mate.
It was well
right here. It says it's right here. It's saying it's £2. Well, you're a trolley cunt. See?
Oh. that didn't even. That sounded like some kind of 30s guy. You're a trolley cunt. See? He goes. He said, "Wait! I thought these apples was meant to be 49 pence. What over here it says it's £2. What? Just well wrong. Yeah." Yeah, but see, listen, see, you're a trolley cunt, see? See your face on the board, see? You're a trolley cunt, see? Get out of here.
You're a trolley cunt, right?
Now give me that £2.
Yeah, see?
Now give me that £2, see? You're a trolley cunt, see? Yeah. I know. I've seen your picture. I've seen your picture all over the place, yeah?
I know you. I've seen your picture.
I know you, Buster. Listen, Buster, From a different era, this guy.
Different eras, different countries.
Different accents, different countries.
Yeah.
Different eras.
Different eras. All right. Well, you know what, Brent? I think we've probably gone enough for today.
Okay, Buster.
That was a fun one. Douglas, good luck with your trolleys and your trolley cunts. I think we've solved it. Mate.
I think we solved it, see?
I think we've solved it, see?
Listen, Buster.
Now, Brent.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep solving more annoyances after dark.
Okay.
So if you're not a Patreon subscriber, the show is going to end now. But if you want to keep listening to us, keep solving problems, see? You got to go to patreon.com/poundcast, see? And subscribe to us. And this is how we make this show possible, see? Okay? This is your support. This is a listener-supported Poundcast, you see? And the Patreons is what makes us keep going week after week. Okay?
See?
So,
yeah.
So do that. Patreon.com/Poundcast. Support if you don't want to do that, You don't have to. We can also support our sponsor, LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Check out Louisville Vegan Jerky. Use the code word Poundcast at checkout. And before we go, we would like to thank our Poundcast team, Jack Birch, L.Bircho on social media, Chloe Bonilla, and Jackie Montana. They help us behind the scenes. So we would like to say, cheers, mate, to those.
And
Nice
actually,
folks.
Jackie really is a mate too, by the way.
Jack is, yeah, he's from England, isn't he, mate? I think when I was in London, I said hi. I think I met him when I was in London, didn't I?
Oh, when you was dumping the trolley off in the lot, mate. Did you dump him? Okay, so anyway,
All right, so yeah, let's get to the after dark.
see you there.
And
I
guess that's about it. Is that about it?
I think that's it. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay,
See you next
bye-bye
week,
now.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Every time I see you, your little eyes are sparkling and you're smiling and you're just having the best time.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about too? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the
Brent, Doug, Poundcast.